Okay, good day, all stock market traders and stock market investors. This is Total Investor here from YouTube. And what we do here is we discuss trading opportunities in stocks, basically using technical analysis for things that you might like and things that stocks that you might want to trade or invest in short term or long term. Today, we've got like about half a dozen to go through. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is Citicorp. Basically, this one, I'm just going to look at this as the 6-month chart. And what is interesting to me is the last month here. We've seen the stock drop from a high 49 all the way down to the almost 40. And down here we see the stock making lower lows, but up here we have the RSI not confirming. It actually made a higher low. And that is actually what we want to see when we're looking for bottoms. This is called a bullish divergence. Okay, so the RSI and the stock price are diverging. We've got a movement, 2 good green candles. Today had a nice volume, 30 million shares, which is about twice the regular volume that normally trades. And look here on the RSI 49.50. That is, we usually wait for the 50 to trigger the buy, but I think that this is good enough. Now keep in mind, obviously it's a big stock. We don't expect this thing to move, give us substantial percentage gains. But if we get back up to around 49 in the short term, let's say a couple of months, that is a very good percentage-wise return for a short period of time. So this is something to consider. Okay, and again, before we go any further, everything I say is strictly for educational purposes only. It is not to be considered as financial advice. And before we go any further, please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. A big thumbs up is always a nice thing. And also leave comments. I'm more than interested in what you have to say about what I talk about. Next is Codexis. Symbol is CDXS. Okay, again, 6-month chart, but I'm only interested really in the last month or so. Topped out at around 375, came back down and tried to find a bottom. It did at around 160. And if we notice here, the stock did continue to trade lower. However, the RSI, the lows were continually higher. So again, another bullish divergence. And we got some good volume today. 3.4 million shares, more than 3 times the regular volume over the past 20 days. The stock is above the 10-day moving average, not quite at the 50, but I think it will get there. The RSI is above the 50. We're at 54. So this is something to look at. Please keep in mind, because it is a penny stock, it is a little bit easier to manipulate. And it does involve a lot more risk than most of the other shares that I discuss here. Okay, keep that in mind. Number 3, Livanova, LIVN. This, again, 6-month trading chart. I only want to look at about the past month and a half. Topped out at around, I believe that's 59 and change. And it just basically moved downwards on a correction. I've got a downtrend line here, and today it broke through solidly, closed right at the highs of the day on decent volume, 537,000 shares, which is higher than it normally is over the past 20 trading days. And if we look at the RSI, that too broke its downtrend line and above the 50. We're at 61 on that. So this is also something that you might want to consider. Next, Morgan Stanley, MS. Morgan Stanley, if we go back about 3 months, it's basically had a floor price going across here at, I believe that's $83, give or take. The last couple of weeks, we've seen the RSI move up. The lower, it's made higher lows, which is what we want to see. It traded above the 50. We're at 56.93 now. That's good. The stock broke up decidedly today on some good volume, and the stock is above both moving averages, the 10 and the 50. So everything looks good here. Don't expect to make too much of a percentage gain, but this is again to show you that the kind of pattern that we are looking for. Next, Pacific Biosciences, PACB. If we go back the 6 months here on this chart, we've seen that we got some solid support here at around $10. It used to be resistance, then it became support here back in late April, and again just very recently, and it finally broke. So it bounced off of that support, and if I drew a downtrend line from here, it touched it several times, and it finally broke that downtrend line today very nicely. The stock is above both 10-day and the 50-day moving average, and the RSI is also above 50, the trigger line. And we got some good volume going through today, 7 million shares going through, which is about twice the average over 20 trading days on that. So everything looks good on Pack B. And now we've got Warby Parker, that is WRBY. I drew a downtrend line, or sorry, an uptrend line coming from April, late April, and it touched this several times here. It bounced off, forming a nice rounded bottom. If you look up here on the RSI, same thing. The RSI broke through the 50. Everything is looking promising here, although I'd like to see it cross above the 50-day moving average as well, and it starts to turn up. But this is something to consider, or at least putting it on your watch list. Okay, so that is it for today. Short, just a few, just to highlight. The trading in the general market has been everywhere. We've got some good up days, other days there are fewer opportunities, and it's just like back and forth, back and forth. So when I have more opportunities or I find them, I don't mind sharing them with you. This is what I've got today. So, have a good look at them, see what you think, and if you'd like to comment, I'd love to hear from you. And by the way, if you can, try to, spread the word on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Reddit, wherever it is that you can, and help to make this YouTube channel a success. So thank you to everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.